next guest, I'm very happy to introduce Carla Yvonne Flores Cisneros. I need a glass of water from Mexico City.
Hello.
And hello, Carla. How are you? Bienvenidos.
Muchas gracias, gracias. Sí, justo es flores, like the flowers,
Yes,
and
I know.
cisneros, like the
Yes,
swan.
I see it. It's my tongue.
Don't worry.
Gracias. So Carla is a 24-year-old social innovator, passionate about economics, politics, and any topic that would make your parents go nuts. If they asked at the dinner table, what do you think about the latest tax reform? That's Carla, financial analyst, community consultant, and a loyal friend. And Carla, you're going to talk with us today about, your presentation is about sweeter are the fruits of social innovation. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deborah, Erin, and everyone in this panel. Well, first, thank you for the opportunity of being here. I hope everyone in your family is good because we are now in a delicate situation. And that's the first thing we all need to remember, considering to take care of our family. And well, here I am making a space in this time to present you one of my favorite things in the planet, that is social innovation. Okay, well, I'm going to present you my screen. Can you tell me if you see it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, I am about to start by telling you that why did I decide to change this old phrase that we all know, like sweet are the fruits of adversity. Well, I think, don't get me wrong, I always struggle with all type of all type of troubles in my life and face them, and of course it's hard to overcome all type of situations, and every result that is positive after trying to get my life together when everything in the world is burning down, of course it's sweet. Any trade, any uh, positive action in our life are sweet, but I think that we all need to recognize that this struggle should be easier to overcome by everyone in the planet. So we need to act in order to be prepared or to help others to be prepared for adversity and overcome all type of situations that now we are currently living. So this is where social innovations takes part, and I will just like to start my presentation. So as you can see, this beautiful illustration is not only to make my mouth water, is also related to this topic, because frugal innovation, as we know it, comes from the word in Latin fructalis, or fruit. So what does fruits have to do with this? It's simple because, as I mentioned, in Latin, fructalis means acting with temperance, or in other words, learn how to do more with less resources, with less fuel, with less trees, and less human labor, with highest returns or the highest yields possible. So we are talking about simple low-cost solutions that can our can help our communities to be, like I said, prepared for any type of adversity, like we are living now, the coronavirus, for example. So how do we do this, and who are involved? Well, it's difficult to think in social innovation when a lot of people say that it must be like not as high tech as we imagine. For example, when I talk to people and I explain that our solution must be as simple and low cost possible, they used to think, well, are you telling me to work in a third grade project of a social and science fair? No, actually the innovations implemented in social spaces are as high tech as possible, using all type of resources. And here we have three sectors that not only innovations take place, but also where all human activities are located. So we can see first the private sector, understood as enterprises. We have an example of Rotoplas. Rotoplas is a Mexican company that produces and sells water containers. There are famous water containers that are always over the top of our houses. And Rotoplas made with other type of private firms and social venture capitals, INWAY. INWAY is a water innovation hub that is currently launching a challenge where the winner will get $45,000 US and the possibility to implement the idea that helps to the labs in water, in accessibility and all type of reuse topics of water and inequality. And it's a very important platform to start in by first. Also, we have public sector initiatives. For example, Jóvenes Construyendo el Futuro in Mexico, or Youth Building the Future. It's a very famous platform where all type of young people can apply and get their first job in their lives. So that's very innovative from a way that no one could imagine. I know that it's a very possible idea and very common in other countries, but in Mexico, imagine an alliance where these three sectors and including the government help people, help young students that are not currently working or have a certain degree to take place in the market and the labor market. It's amazing. And the speed that this initiative get implemented, the technologies that are used, the possibility of from zero, like zero knowledge in all kind of stuff, you can learn and you can be guided through the process of like, you know, having your first job. This is something that we all get by like a normal day and the normal life path, but for people is an amazing opportunity to be included. And finally, the third sector initiative, we must be looking for this project that is a light of light, that only with a mini solar panel, a PVC tube, and just I think this chlorium or salinity components can start a lamp just in the middle of nowhere. Here in Mexico, we do still have problems by reaching local communities without electricity. So this type of UN supported initiatives are like the whole world to me and inspired me every day to keep working and from my field providing these solutions to all people in Mexico. So you see this, and if you are like me or if you are not, you see, wow, how do you do that? Especially in Western cultures, well, all that is like, we all care about is when is the iPhone 2020 is arriving to my home, or why does Jeff Bezos is so late at my package in Amazon? It's important to reconsider new ways to implement technology and science in our lives, and understanding that this type of innovation, of course, does require science and technology and engineering, but also requires the participation of political scientists, financial managers like me, economists, and even psychologists. So it's a process, it's a whole spiral, as we can see. And I'm not stop here, but like too much more time, because if you can see it and compare it to the design thinking process, that is the usual and the typical one, so you can see that we also start with a prompt, an idea. Does the problem really exist, or we are just looking at it like a problem because in my neighborhood is that problem existing? So we need to use statistics and models and all type of information to validate that problem. We also need to propose, to prototype, to sustain all these type of ideas that are coming of the problem we're facing. And finally, if we got luck and we are happy enough with our results, we are going to scale this project and do a systemic change in not only in our local communities, but also in our state, our country, and even in the world. So I won't stop really much time in this. I'm presenting you also all all other examples of social innovations that are successful. I am talking about Teach First in United Kingdom, of Oxfam International, Kiva, Pomona Impact, that are social ventures dedicated to provide microloans and do impact investing in order to like improve the market dynamics in every country. And even my my enterprise, or the job I'm currently in, Banverde, we are financing solar projects in order to do the difference. You can see that a lot of these logos are green, and verde in Espanol means green. So everything you will see in social innovation, if it's not green or purple, it will be green. So why do we innovate? It's very confusing in some parts of our programs to identify the real reason of innovating. We also sometimes think that we do it for money. Sometimes we think we do it for recognition. Sometimes we do it because Elon Musk is the greatest man on earth, and I want to be like him someday. No, well, it's not really that. It is indeed technology, creativity, and science the drivers of our innovation. But we all must remember that the center of that target of that innovations will always be people, the environment we are living in, the animals, the fruits, the vegetables, and the beautiful bees that always are around us and helps this world to be better, even more than Elon Musk, I must say. So we must all know that technology and creativity and science engineering are just the drivers to complete that purpose, or to meet that that need, that is becoming becoming a better person and helping to construct a better world. So let's not forget that social innovation methodology is as strict and important as conventional innovation. As I mentioned, it sometimes STEAM careers, the mine included, like do the less important comments about what is our role in the world, but is, as I say, as much as important as the latest career of innovation and mechanical engineering. We also participate to create new ways to solve problems. So let's not forget that, and especially in a place like this that I have the opportunity to talk with a lot of people in the world, let's not distract of our main purpose, contributing to do a greater world. And there is always be a chance of failure, and public opinions are harsher for social innovators, because we are sometimes managing taxes, incomes, or private equity funds. The investors and the public is harder with us, but we must always recognize, like the example I mentioned, that the youth building the future is a prototype, or if it's not a prototype, it's a way of sustaining that project. So we all must be open, yes, to criticism, but focusing on the fact that no one, the rule number one of innovation is you won't get it the first time. It will be one or two, like our current partners mentioned. We all need to understand that it's not hit it on the moon and tomorrow you will get there. It's try and try and try, and you will see the systemic change after a few months or even years, but you need to be consistent. And finally, that additional empathy and consciousness are required. We are talking about race, about gender, sexual diversity sometimes, local communities and indigenous culture and ethnicities. So we must be careful with that. Yes, we are engineers. Yes, we are have bachelor's degrees, but we are always human first, and we must treat the people we are helping, the people we are designing public policies and social projects, we are doing horizontally. So a common mistake people always commit is designing these initiatives from the top. when you are a CEO, when you are the president, or when you are a congressman. No, you are first an inhabitant of the world, and you need to always think and act as you were one of those people, because it is being in Mexico is one of the highest rates of inequality. So if some baby born tomorrow, it's more like statistically significant that he will born in a poverty environment than in a wealthy housing or neighborhood. So we always remember this piece in order to, like I mentioned, work for better conditions to live in. So well, that's it for now. I think that I am on time, so I will be very pleased if we continue this conversation on the question section.
Carla, I just want to say thank you so much. What a fantastic presentation. And what a wonderful thing, what a wonderful thought to end on, that when we're looking at social innovation, or when we're looking at innovation of any kind, that you begin as humans first, and that we're not designing from the top, but we're designing from our common humanity, and then from the community upwards. As we know, communities have incredible wisdom. And as leaders, how can we facilitate bringing that out instead of pushing ideas down? I'm really curious with respect to what was your first moment when you thought, oh, I really want to do this social innovation thing? Was that what you were making your parents crazy about at the dinner table? What, did you have this passion at a very young age? I'm very curious.
Yeah, it was like a very young age when I first experienced my desire to create a better world, like a hippie, like take a combi, a van, and go around the roadway with no return, just like that. But we here in Mexico, well, I'm living. I come from Acapulco de Juarez in Guerrero State, so Guerrero is one of the three most poverty with the highest poverty indexes. So when I was 15, I go to the mountains where the local communities are located, and I live with that community like 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a different sensation. I know I'm not telling that you missionary proposal. So we all need to go at the mountains and live like those communities to understand the importance of changing something. But I think that my school was Catholic, so I live hand to hand with people that have no more than regular American or European lowest income expense. So I think that experience definitely changed my life. That was the reason because I decided to work in social innovation. And I now like Tec de Monterrey graduated. I studied there because 100% scholarship, because I was there and told him I need to change. In order to change the world, I need to access at the very the high tech careers in the country. So everything is about, yes, a purpose and a life plan when I want to get the better opportunities, not just for me, for everyone. So of course at my 15 I decided to it, and now that I'm 24, I'm almost decided to change the world at that time.
Oh my goodness, amazing.
Carla, that was excellent. Thank you very much. But we have a question from YouTube.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Yeah, you have lots of fans on YouTube. I wanted to mention.
No, I'm just telling you.
Thank you.
I'm just passing along the accolades.
Yeah.
What challenges exist that to prevent other young people like you to get involved and active like you are?
What are the main challenges for us, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're wonderful. And what prevents other people from becoming as wonderful as you?
Thank you. Well, I'm not if there is something out there preventing them to be not like me, because I personally know a lot of young people and friends that are in these hippie things like me. But I think that, yeah, we are not as current as the world needs to be social innovators. So Like one thing that is maybe the distractions, the indifference, the myths of Western culture, as I say, that the better has a certain color of skin, the better has a certain income level, the better people are in this way, and they are not, for example, diverse. They don't show diversity. It must be one way, and that way will guarantee you success. So that myth is something we and me and my friends are like tumbling down, because we don't need that speech anymore. New generations are coming, and they are as diverse as you can imagine. So I will say that status quo or the old regime says that no, you shouldn't be care, you shouldn't care the other, because that's not you. You're as individual, and we don't care, and we don't know what to do with other people. But yes, we must care for others as the way we care for ourselves. So I think that prevents a lot of young to get involved in this type of actions.
Your compassion and your sense of community and selflessness is truly inspiring. And what stands out really is that while you're so adamant about this individuality, that you recognize that you stand with others. And I just admire that so much. And I think that's
Thank you.
so wonderful for young people to hear. So thank you for being part of this and sharing your story and your passion, your fiery passion with us.
Yep.
It gives me a lot of hope for the future, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
Carla,
Any questions?
Yeah, did you have a question, Erin? Go ahead.
No.
Thank you.
Carla, I was really impressed that you were speaking about frugal innovation tools, because often we think innovation is complicated and needs a lot of money. And sometimes the simplest innovation or most powerful innovation can be very, very frugal. And I think that it's very important to raise that, because when we think about innovation on the global scale and a lot of innovation in the developing world, there are incredible innovations that are happening in many countries just with, community wisdom, where there's a small shift. And it's not massive innovation, but it creates massive impact in the lives of the community. And I'm curious, when you look at your work, your own work, where are you seeing, is there a particular example that's really inspired you in terms of one particular tool that you think this is so powerful and it's very unrecognized?
Well, I think that the most inspiring moment, for example, actually I mentioned it, is one of the, we all know the story of Grameen Bank and the Indian leader that inspired a whole community. I think that one moment that particularly touched my heart was when I was at my college, and there's a social innovation forum like that. It was before the 2017 earthquake in Mexico, and we were there I think that it was a symposium of easy 1,000 people. So a woman, Tequiva founder, stands in the public and it started to talk about Tequiva, the microloan application. So it was that moment, and I write down a question and I ask it a simple question like, oh, how do you feel, or how do you start treating the local communities, or so. I don't remember, but it was very beautiful because, oh, that's a very good question. We should take it from there. And it started to give a whole speech twist of my question, and I was very happy because I'm here in my college learning what I love, and being prepared with the highest and the better and the best financial tools, because my major is in financial, to implement it like she does. And she's not only helping people in United Kingdom or in Africa, they are also Kiva like similar applications in my country, in Central America, in Latin America whole. So I think that moment touched my life. Maybe micro loans are not as mass informed like we should all know, but that was one moment. Also a lot of mentors and friends that are inspiring me day to day. I personally thank for this opportunity and this information to Ada Baena and Cloud Whitting, professors in my institution and in my life. So yeah, a lot of information was from there because a lot of things that they do inspires me to keep pushing forward social innovation and all types of innovative implementations in our country.
Well, may you keep pushing forward because you're making a massive difference, and you're inspiring so many people on this call and on and around the world through your work. So thank you so much, Carla. This has been truly an inspiring 30 minutes of my life and inspiring presentation on GIFT. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that are watching me or watch my video. Thank you to my family and my mom that is already there. So thank you.
Before you go, when you get off, you want to get on YouTube because you want to read all the comments. I'm serious. You have a family and you want to read all those comments. So get on YouTube and see how much people think of you.
Of course, I will. Thank you very much, Jake, Erin, Deborah, and Dacia.
Bye, Carla.
Thank you.
A pleasure to meet you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.